Hey, welcome back to another episode of Soulful Sundays with Madge. Thank you for joining me as we talk about all things spirituality. We talk about the struggles that we face in life. We talk about mindset and how truly our mind can help us to overcome so many obstacles that we encounter day to day. And always know that if you have questions, you can email me at askmadge18@gmail.com. The email is in the description below. Feel free to ring the bell. That way you will subscribe to the channel. And when I upload, you will receive notification. Like the video, comment on the video. And thank you. Thank you once again for tuning in this week. This week, we are talking about the struggle and how the struggle can seem so real. Like right now, my hair is a struggle, but it is quite all right. All is well. And actually, I was going in a totally different direction this week. I was going to talk about temptations, and literally, God convicted my spirit. The Holy Spirit convicted me on Friday and completely altered the message this week. And it's about the struggle. And what happened was, I received a text message from one of my subscribers. And I know the subscriber very well, love and adore her. I won't say her name because I didn't even ask her if I could shout her out, because this week's topic it literally got changed on Saturday. But I got a text message early, like 8 o'clock in the morning. And it was like, what is your address? And so I wasn't thinking anything of it. And I was like, ... here's my address. And then I received some pictures and she was like, is this what you need? And I'm thinking like, okay. And the pictures was of a ring light. So hello, I have light. Thank you, Jesus. So it was pictures of ring lights. Like, is this what you need? And I was thinking like, because I was actually sending my daughter pictures of ring lights, like which one should I order from Amazon? Because I was going to order me a ring light. And so I'm like, did I accidentally send her pictures of ring lights and not my daughter? But I realized that I had not, but that she was watching my segment, and Chance is on his way up my stairs. So if you hear breathing, it's Chance. But anyways, she was like, is this what you need? And so I'm like, yeah, that would be exactly what I need. She was like, okay, cool. It's been ordered. You'll receive it tomorrow. Just like that. So I just really want to say that really moved me. And then right after that happened, I was listening to some Sarah Jakes Roberts, and the sermon, the message was something to prove. And it was really, she was just kind of talking about how sometimes when God calls us, we don't always understand why. And so we're like, okay, well, God, I'm following you, but why? But why did you call me? And then how she was really talking about Peter, one of the disciples that followed Jesus, and how you can get to a point though when you're called, you're questioning like, okay, why, like what is in this that you will have for me to do with this calling, to get into a place where it's like, you know what, God, I don't even know the fullness of why you're calling me up. And I don't even care why anymore. I'm just going to follow you. I'm just going to go. And so that really touched me, because I realized that, though sometimes I'm at that point where I question, where I'm like, okay, God, I don't quite get the fullness of like, where are you taking me with this? Like, why did you call me a couple years ago? Why did you tell me to start this channel? Like the why, to where it's like, I realize even in this moment where it's Sunday, it's later in the evening, because my day I had to work. It sounds like my son is crying downstairs. My hair is a struggle, but it's like, God, I don't care why you placed this in my heart. You called it for me to do. And so I'm going to do it. I'm just going to continue moving. I'm just going to continue going. Please excuse my son. He's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. It's all well. It's all going to be all right. So, and the fact that one of my subscribers heard what I was talking about in my podcast and what I needed to do, And she literally messaged me like, hey, it's ordered, you'll receive it. And it just goes to show that sometimes when God is calling us, we don't always understand why. But like I mentioned, God will never leave, God will never forsake us, God will never leave us out there on our own when he's calling us to do certain works in the world. And that just really touched my heart, and it really showed me that God can do works through people to let you know that what you're doing matters. The calling that God has placed on you matters. And that even when we don't quite understand why, the fact that the Holy Spirit is convicting us to just keep doing it, God is just saying, just keep going. And we don't always understand. And we don't know if it makes sense. We don't know what people are thinking about us. We don't know what people are like. It doesn't matter, because we are doing a work for God. And I really also just want to say, like, I think sometimes we think when God calls us that it means that he's calling us to minister, like in a church or all these things. And that's just not so. Like, God could call you to serve in your local soup kitchen. God could call you to pay for the person's meal behind you when you're in the McDonald's drive-through line. Like, God can convict you to do so many things. God can convict you to just give an anonymous donation to some organization or some cause. God can convict you to take on being a coach for a local community sports league. Like, God does not always have to call us to be behind a pulpit, but God can and will convict us to do something that's bigger than ourselves, that's more than ourselves, that we have to actually go out of the way sometimes, like this, where your hair is a struggle, but God is calling you and he's convicting you to do something that's bigger than yourself. And the struggle sometimes can seem very real, but we continue and we do it anyways, because God is convicting us and God is saying, just do it. We don't always know why. And I really, like, it touched me when my subscriber ordered that ring light for me, to just know that, like, God has my back and God will send people to be a confirmation that this matters. Like, what God is calling me to do, what God is calling you to do matters. And just hearing that message from Sarah Jakes, it was like the second confirmation. Like, sometimes it doesn't even matter why God is calling. Like, we just move, period, you know? And like, I can remember for so long just thinking about like the struggles in life. I used to like curse my struggles in life. I used to just be like, why is life so hard for me? Like, why is the struggle so real in my life? Okay, and my son is calling me. 1 second, y'all. The struggle sometimes is real. So I am taping a video. So he's going to be super quiet and we're going to keep going. And yes, so I used to curse my struggle. I used to just be so frustrated that life just seemed so hard. But you know what I realized is that truly, as harsh as this might sound, our struggles don't make us special. What we do with our struggle is truly what defines us, what makes us special. And I got a glimpse of what God is doing in my life through this YouTube channel. And God literally is just showing me that I get to use my struggle to help someone, to let someone know that our struggle, our pain can turn into a story that can help someone, that can improve someone's life, that we don't have to curse our struggles. We can find joy in our struggles as an opportunity to know that God is truly trying to show us something, reveal something to us, teach us something in our lives that can be beneficial, that can help us, that can help to grow us. You know, I was sitting there just really quick the other night. I had a really traumatic experience with someone in my past that I was with. And I can remember for like the past like 4 years, I would be like, you know, like coming out of the relationship, I would think like, what part of me attracted this person, like, or was attracted to this person? Like, how was it possible? What part of me brought that into my experience? And I just could not quite figure it out. And I can remember when God, like in 2020, I'd been in a relationship for like 2 years, and God like started convicting my spirit again, saying, you can't take this relationship to you with you into 2020, like, or no, into 2021, not 2020. But God would just really start speaking to me saying, you cannot take this relationship with you into 2021. Like, it has to go. And it was like really the hardest thing when God just really was like, you just have to. God gave me signs. He let me know that I just couldn't do it. And that I was gonna go into a season where it was just gonna be he and I. And I'm okay with that. I am truly okay with that. But what I really want to get is into the point with the relationship prior to that, is I really began to start to see this past week. It took me almost 4 years to realize what part of me attracted him to me and me to him. And God began to reveal, to show me that 5+ years ago, man, you were a broken, sad soul. You were not happy. You were bitter. You were miserable. And it's because I am in this season with God doing a great work on the inside of me that I am okay saying that. I'm okay acknowledging that. And when God began to show that to me, it really blew my mind, because now coming out of it and wanting to really have that desire to do life differently and to embrace the struggle as the opportunity for God to really teach and to grow me, now I'm able to see why I can see the sadness in that person or the bitterness in that person. And it's because God has really been working to heal me, because I've been a willing participant in this experience to just say, I can't live life like that anymore. I don't want to live life angry. I don't want to live life bitter. I don't want to live life jealous of people. I want joy. And it's such a beautiful, freeing experience when, in fact, you can know that you have struggles in life. You can know that certain things did not play out the way that you had hoped or you had desired for them to play out. But people can encounter you and say, hey, how are you doing, or whatever, and you can say, I'm doing great, or people might know you and you be like, I'm doing great. And they might be looking like, well, I know a couple things is going on. How are you doing? Great, because God woke me up this morning, because I'm healthy, because my children are healthy, because I have food in my refrigerator, because I have a car that runs well, because I have light, because I have water, because God has given me breath to breathe today. Like, I am doing great. But this is what comes when we begin to just really embrace God and allowing God's presence to come over us and just to convict us, that we realize the struggle can seem real, but it may seem real, but it's not. It's just an opportunity. So I have decided that one of the things that I want to eradicate out of my mind, and I want to encourage you to eradicate it out of your mind, out of your life, out of the what you speak with your tongue, is that certain things are hard. Whatever it is in life, like sometimes I just talk to my daughter, or I just think about stuff. I'd be like, you know what? I'm thinking about doing such and such, and I know it's going to be hard. Or I might be talking to my daughter and I might be saying, well, you know what? Things that we have to really work for, things that we're going to remember, whatever, sometimes it won't come easy. It may be hard to get, but you'll remember it, right? I'm done with that. God really showed me, like, it doesn't have to be hard. It just means that you are going to have to, how did God say it to me? You're going to have, it's going to require, that's what God said to me. God said, no, it's not going to be hard. Stop saying things are going to be hard. It's just going to require, it's going to require you to think a different thought. It's going to require you to move differently. It's going to require you to learn something you ain't never learned before. It's going to require you to move to a different state, perhaps. It might require you to get some new friends. It might require you to stop drinking. It might require you to stop smoking cigarettes. It might require you to stop sleeping with married men. It might require you to go through a season single, whole, with God. It might require you to do certain things differently, but I'm done with things being hard. It's just going to require me to do something different, something that I ain't never done before. So if you're doing something you ain't never done before, it may seem like a struggle, but it does not have to be a struggle. It's just going to require you to do something different. So what I really want to say is the struggle can seem real, but it's not. So it's an opportunity. So I thank you. Tonight was a struggle, by the way. I had a crying son. I had so much going on today, as many days. But at this point in time in my life, y'all, I no longer care why God has called me. I am thankful God has called me, and I want to continue and desire and seek to answer the call, continue to desire and seek to live higher, continue to desire to embrace the struggle, and attract people who struggle, so that I can be an example, that I can be someone that you can know. Life may not come, life may require you to do it differently. However, it can be done. You can do it. It does not have to be hard. It can be easy if you are just willing to get out of your own way, if you are willing to embrace the newness that God is bringing into your life, and really just enjoy the experience. You know, God leads us all into a wilderness season. And in fact, I've come to realize I right now am in a wilderness season. And it's okay, because I have embrace the fact that once out of this wilderness season, I am going to be in another wilderness season. The beautiful thing about the darkness is that it's a mind thing. So I look at it like this. Life is not always gonna be dark. There's gonna be light, right? So when the light comes, what am I gonna have in my hands? What am I going to have? I'm going to take something from the wilderness. I'm going to take something from the darkness. I'm going to set some things up so that when the lights come on, I'm going to have something. And I think like that's what we can all work towards, is just embracing the fact that we're going to have a wilderness season. We're going to have times in our lives when it is dark, but baby, the light is going to come on. You're not always going to be in the wilderness. What are you going to have in your hands? What are you going to take with you? What are you going to take with you into the next? Because into the next, you can either decide, in this wilderness, I'm going to stay the same. In this wilderness, I'm going to give up. Or in this wilderness, I'm going to come out of this wilderness with something in my hand. And I'm going to take what I got in this wilderness season, and I'm going to use it to build my next, because I'm going from glory to glory. Okay. So I thank you so much for tuning in another week with me. I'm super apologetic about the crying son and everything that transpired, but I know that you understand sometimes the struggle can be real. So until next time, I want you to take care. I want you to stay safe and be blessed. Bye.